Hey guys, with 2022 wrapping up, I wanted to give you the list of my 10 favorite movies of the year and even throw in my 5 least favorite movies of 2022. Now, this isn't necessarily what I would consider to be the best films of the year, but they are my favorite, if that makes sense. So, listen, let's dive into my list. First off, coming in 10th, we have, I know I'm going to get crap for this, you guys, The Adam Project. This was one of the first films I saw of the year, and it just continued to be a favorite of mine throughout the entire year. Listen, I love me some Ryan Reynolds, and I thought he was so good in this, as is Walker Scobell. The two of them together, it was so fun. It felt very sci-fi. We had some incredible music. One of my friends was like, oh, you love it because it feels very much like Guardians. And I was like, you know what? It does feel kind of like Guardians. So for me, listen, that's number 10. I've watched it several times throughout the year, and it's something I will continue to watch and put on every once in a while because I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I find it to be a lot of fun. Number 9. Number 9 is Fresh. This is also one of the first films I saw this year, and it's someone that just really stuck with me. Sebastian Stan delivers probably his best performance ever. And yes, guys, I love him as Bucky, but he's so freaking good in this. Plus, I love gore and creepy and weird and things that make my stomach turn. And, well, it's exactly what Fresh does. So if you haven't seen this yet, check it out. It's a kind of grotesque, but I really like the story, and I loved the ending. I thought it really wrapped up well. I won't ruin that if you guys haven't seen it, but I really, really enjoyed this movie. Again, another one I've watched several times throughout 2022. Next up it's Avatar: The Way of Water. This one snuck in here for me upon my third watch. I really did enjoy it as a whole. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. I think it has issues. If you guys have seen my spoiler review up here, you know what my issues were, but I still really enjoyed this movie, and I think this is definitely one of my favorites. It's also one of the best films of the year for several reasons. There's a lot to love about it. Yes, it has its flaws, but there is a lot to love about it. And Zoe Saldana just knocks it out of the park. I really could relate to her character, and I think that's what made me love this so much. It's about family, and not just your blood family, your chosen family. It's got some great messages about the environment and the way you treat animals as well. So yeah, Avatar: The Way of Water snuck in at number 8 for me. Number 7 is another one that snuck in. I was not expecting it at all. Listen, I threw it on my Critics' Choice Awards nomination form. It didn't get selected as a nominee for Best Picture, but I really, really loved this movie, and it's A Man Called Otto. This one hit me in the gut, and it made me feel so hard. Like, it made me feel all the feels, okay? I cried, I laughed, like I just fell in love with Tom Hanks' character, and Marisol, she's phenomenal as well. I just really loved this movie. I'm considering it a 2022 movie because it does come out at the very, very, very end of this year in select theaters, even though it doesn't hit Netflix until January 6th. I debated on where I would include it, but I did decide ultimately to put it in at a 2022 film. Coming in 6th is Next Exit. Now, this one is another one that I really was kind of like, oh, this will be a fun movie, interesting movie, but man, it hit me in the gut and made me feel all sorts of things. I love Raoul ever since iZombie, and I just absolutely thought he was phenomenal in this role. His chemistry with the other lead is so good as well, and I just really loved this movie, and I loved the message, and the ending had me bawling like a baby, and it's one I've watched again a few times since it came out. I think I've watched it 4 times this year, which is a lot for considering how many things I have to watch that are new. To revisit a movie this much, it definitely makes it on my list, and like I said, it's number 6. I really thoroughly enjoyed this one. If you guys haven't seen it yet, check it out. It's gonna make you feel things. It's going to make you feel things, but I love the premise of it. Basically, we know there's an afterlife, and so people are, thinking about killing themselves to get to the afterlife. It's heavy. It's a lot, but I love the message behind it. Number 5 of my favorite films of 2022 is Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery. Man, I have seen this movie 3 times now, and the first time was like, what is happening? Twists and turns, edge of my seat. This is crazy. Second time through was like, oh my God, I missed so many things sprinkled throughout, and the third time was just an absolute freaking blast. It's an incredible ensemble. I love everything about this movie. It's so much fun. Like I said, there's twists and turns. It's surprising. It's shocking, and the cast is so so freaking good. Edward Norton is phenomenal. Oh my god, oh my god. Everyone is just so good in this movie. I absolutely adored it. So of course it came in at number 5. And like I said, for something that's come out this late in 2022 and I've seen it 3 times, yeah, it definitely needed to be on this list. Number 4 for me is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. And again, I don't know that this is one of the best movies of the year, but it is definitely one of my favorite movies of the year. Again, it has issues. It's a little long, but oh my God, talk about making you feel something. I think that's really what the majority of this list is comprised of, is things that made me feel, things I could relate to, things that hit me in my gut, things I didn't forget about, and movies that have stuck with me ever since I have seen them. And this is such a phenomenal film. Angela Bassett is absolutely incredible. I enjoyed the first Black Panther more, but there's a lot to love about this one, and the costuming, and bringing in Namor, who if you guys have followed me, you know I hate Namor in the comics. I despise him, and I was not happy to see him coming to live action, and Tenet completely flipped my mind on that, and I'm very shocked, but it definitely landed in my favorite movies of the year. So there you have it. Number 4 is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, this one kind of fell off my radar. Listen, when it came out, I was extremely busy. I was moving from New York to California. We were house hunting. My husband was job hunting. My kids were wrapping up school in New York. There was a lot going on, and it just kind of fell to the wayside, and I told myself I will get to this movie. And I did, because of course, as award season hit and I was giving in my Critics' Choice Association nominations, I needed to see at least all of the award contenders. This was getting rave reviews, so I was like, all right, I will check it out. I need to watch this to give my good conscience nominations for Critics' Choice Association. And wow, this movie completely blew me away. I love every single one of the characters. I found it to be extremely intriguing and interesting. I love the way they tackled the multiverse here, and I just had so much fun with it. And again, the messaging, it hit me in the gut, it hit me in the feels, about appreciating your life and the people in your life, and just telling your loved ones how much you love them. Like, that stuff got me, and it stuck with me. So yes, I had to include this movie in my favorite movies of 2022. All right, guys, listen, my second number 2 on the list of my favorites is The Batman. This almost made number 1. It really did. Again, movie that I saw very early on in the year. Have seen it multiple times now. Absolutely loved it. Made me feel things. You guys know I'm a comic book fan, so it should not surprise you that The Batman snuck in here at the top of my list. I really thought Robert Pattinson was a great Batman. I love Paul Dano as Riddler. Oh my God, he was incredible. Probably my favorite part. But also, let's talk about Zoe as Catwoman. Like, I love Catwoman, and I thought she had a great portrayal of Catwoman, and I loved her and Robert and their chemistry, and and Colin Farrell, oh my God, Penguin. Listen, there's so much going on in this movie that was so good, and it was beautiful to watch, and the fight scenes were amazing. The action was incredible. There was a lot to love about this movie, so listen, it comes in at number 2, though. The first movie, my favorite movie of the year, really might surprise you guys, and it surprised me. I had to sit long and hard and thinking, it's the Banshees of Inisherin. Listen, Colin Farrell is amazing in this movie. He's phenomenal. I mean, he's an incredible actor, of course, but holy bananas, he's so good. And this movie is funny, and this movie is heavy, and this movie is insane, and it's weird, and it's crazy, and you're like, what is going on? And it's, again, with the messaging, right? It talks about just like a legacy that you leave, but also like, just be nice to people. I love the message of just freaking be nice to people. So for me, that was my favorite movie of the year. There's so many reasons that I loved it. I hope you guys check it out. I know it's come out fairly recently, so please, please, please see it. It's so good. It's definitely my favorite movie of the year. And I need to throw in an honorable mention that almost made it. It was between that and The Adam Project, and because I've watched The Adam Project so much, and I really do love Ryan Reynolds in that movie and Walker Scobell in that movie, but almost on my list was Marcel the Shell with shoes on, again, making you feel things. I feel like I would lay down my life for that adorable little shell. I loved that movie. I thought it was great, and it was unique and fun and entertaining and emotional. So if you haven't seen that one, be sure to check it out as well. Now, let's move to my 5 least favorite movies of the year. All right, guys. First up, we have, this is the number 5, and it could have been the number 1 least favorite. There was a little bit that I liked about it, and it hurts. It hurts me so deep inside to be saying this movie right now, and that is Morbius. You guys, I was excited for this movie. You guys know, you've seen my trailer reaction. You know I was like, yes, I don't care what people say. This is going to be good. At the least, it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be fun. And it was a hot mess of garbage. And it breaks my heart to say it. But it comes in at number 5. I mean, Matt Smith was fun. Poor Jared Leto. I don't know what was going on there. I don't know. I like to not think about that movie ever again. I've seen it twice. It's more than enough. I don't ever need to see that movie again. I'm really, really sad to put it in at number 5. Number 4 is Firestarter. I barely even remember this movie. I just remember hating it and being miserable throughout it. And I was like, what is even going on? This is just bad. It's just bad. I didn't think it was going to be great, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. My number 3 least favorite movie of the year. You guys, it was a struggle to get through. If you've seen my review, I have a full detailed review of why I hated this movie so much. But it's Blonde. It was just awful. I don't like the way they depicted Marilyn at all. I think they took lies and ran with them and spun with them, and they went way too far in some scenes that they really did not need to. And yes, I know it's rated NC-17, but they pushed the envelope way too far. I didn't like it. If you want to get more details, I have my full review up. You can check it out. But Blonde is on the list of my least favorite films of the year. Now, my next number 2 least favorite movie of the year is Sharp Stick. It was just gross and disgusting, and like I didn't love the premise at all. And I was semi-intrigued, and I watched this at Sundance, and I was like, ugh, I feel like I need to take a shower after watching this movie. I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. And then my number 1 least favorite movie of the year is also something from Sundance. It's one I was excited to watch, and it's one that's getting praise everywhere, so I'm probably going to get attacked. But it's Something in the Dirt. I thought it was awful. I didn't get it. What was going on? They just kept changing, like, what the heck was happening? Like, what genre are we? What is the thing in the dirt? Like, and the acting wasn't great, and it just was not a good movie, and I was really looking forward to it, and the fact that people love this movie kind of blows my mind, but, like, I respect opinions. I just could not get into it. I watched the whole thing, and I was like, what was the point of me watching this? This is just bad. I know several people who started to watch it and didn't finish it. Because they thought it was that bad. I sat through, I watched the whole thing. I just couldn't do it. All right, guys, so that's my list of my 10 favorite movies of the year plus 1 honorable mention and my 5 least favorite films of the year. Let me know your lists down below in the comments. Let's talk, let's discuss. There's so many films. It was really, really hard because there were a lot of good movies this year, and there were a lot of bad ones too. All right, guys, I'm excited to see your list, and let's talk in the comments. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. You guys can check me out over on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, as well as at MamasGeeky.com. Happy New Year, everybody. Can't wait to chat with you more in 2023. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much to all my monetary supporters, my members, and my Patreons. Love you guys.